Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Appreciate everybody tuning in. This is just going to be a recap of the first two tournaments of the year. So here we are rolling up on the Classic. Leave for the Classic here at the end of this week. But I wanted to give you a little update of what I was throwing. You got to see me on live at Okeechobee, but started off at the St. Johns River. You know, I've had some good success there, but just couldn't get it going. Flipped a dinger around in the pads. Just couldn't find the area to get enough of those good bites, and quite honestly just couldn't get many bites. It was a very tough start to the season for me, but luckily we ran right on down the street to Okeechobee, and that one started out great. Had 20 pounds plus the first day, and then day two you guys got to see me on live. Was flipping reed heads and throwing a little spinnerbait, and actually caught a couple nice key fish on a frog this week. But I'll show you exactly what I was using. This is the exact spinnerbait that I was throwing. That's the Booyah Finesse Covert, and that's the half-ounce version, white. And I actually had a mishap with the blade that I had on it, so I had to rob this blade and put on there, but it fits perfect. Tipping it with the Yum forward-facing sonar minnow. I was throwing gizzard shad. It's just a perfect size for this little finesse spinnerbait. Throwing this on 17-pound Seaguar and VizX fluorocarbon. I felt like that 17 gave me a little better chance. You could see where I was throwing that thing up around all the shallow sticks and stuff that was exposed, all those dead reed heads and stuff that were in the water there at Okeechobee. It was just a really good bait. Those fish were feeding on that. I think it was tilapia fry, things like that, but they were up there feeding on that stuff, and I was able to catch some fish on that. And then the frog, no surprise, this is my favorite. This is the Booyah Poppin' Pad Crasher. You can see right there, it was chewed all to pieces. This is shad frog, my favorite color. I just absolutely always have this tied on. And was throwing this on, see right there, that's Seaguar Smackdown Stealth Gray. I was throwing that on 50-pound test. One key, and you'll see this in this clip on this video, is I've got the spool high-speed bearings in this reel. This is just a cheap reel, but I put those bearings in there, and I could absolutely launch this frog. When those fish would come up, you had to land right on their head, and it was just a real big key for getting those extra bites. Got that one good one on day one, 4-pound plus on this exact frog. Key fish throughout the week, caught several on it. But the main bait for the day one big stringer, and quite honestly throughout the week I caught several fish on it that actually weighed, and I'll show you right here. Actually, I may have thrown them right here in the floor. Let's see if I can find them right here. Yeah, it's caught some on that too. I actually caught a lot of fish on this worm right here. This is the 5-inch Yum swimming dinger, and I was just throwing this on a 3/16 ounce sinker, but you can see right there, it's just got like a little swim bait boot tail on it, but those fish were up there so shallow, you really couldn't throw a whole lot else up there to get those bites other than a frog and things like that. But this right here is what I was throwing on the back of this rig, and I'll show you how I was doing it. So this is my punch setup. It was just a 1 ounce with a black and blue punch skirt. Had a little peg stopper on it. And I think this is a 3/0 heavy duty flipping hook. And again, I was throwing this on 65-pound Seaguar Smackdown braid. And this skirt, I think, was key to getting some of those extra bites. But I would just thread it on there like so. Just stick that in there, and you can see that on live. You can see that's what I was throwing. I even showed you guys, but that's the rig I was throwing right there. It just seemed like it worked better for me, just a little bit bulkier having that skirt on there, and you can see the fish have eat off a bunch of the strands on it. But that was just a pretty key rig throughout the week. Anytime I got around heavy vegetation, I actually caught another key fish to a strong finish on day 3. I only had, I think, 12 or 14 pounds, something like that, 13 pounds. But I caught my biggest fish on this, actually flipping it in that hyacinth mat. But just couldn't get enough bites throughout the week on that stuff. You know, the reed head deal kind of died on me on day 2. I tried it on live there. You got to see me trying it. I caught a few smaller fish, but those 3 baits, along with that thumping or the swimming dinger, were the main players. I mean, to me, that's stuff that anytime you're in Florida, black and blue, June bug, those are the colors you want to be throwing. Ended up finishing, I think, 24th at Okeechobee. Started out great, just kind of tapered off. I knew that first day, that first day, Drew Benton kind of keyed me in on that bite where I caught those 2 big ones, flipping those reeds. When I saw him, I'd already caught a limit, but they were small, and he said he had 3 big bites right there, and I asked him if he minded if I'd come out there behind him and fished, and I did, and ended up catching 2 big ones. But there just wasn't enough fish in that area that were using those. You got to see throughout the tournament, day 3, day 4 on live, that the guys figured out that those fish were starting to move in those areas. But for me, it was a good week. Finished 24th. I needed that after the bad tournament that I had at St. John's. But all in all, good week, good finish. And it just kind of turned the momentum around for me, getting ready to go to the Classic. Again, I'll leave for that this weekend. Got to do some rigging, get some things ready to go. Been out here in the boat, got a mess going on, trying to get everything sorted out, because the Classic being the biggest tournament of the year, it sneaks up on us because we have to prepare and start the next season prior to the Classic. So here we are. It's time. So I'm excited about it. Florida was good to me. Hope you enjoyed the video, some of the fish catches that you got to see, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks.